coming in. Stay steady, and they have, and he lets them go. Good job done by the starting team all afternoon this afternoon, and gets this maiden field away into a first-timer, with Miss Buttons one of the first to show as they run towards the first of a scheduled 20 fences. They're all up and over it safely enough, and You're My Getaway is the last one to cross it as they run towards the second in the back straight. Miss Buttons leads the way from Gentleman Sam. Again, watching the back markers get across it, they're all over it. Well, You're My Getaway touching down in last place. Miss Buttons, Gentleman Sam for Trap for Fools in third, running towards the third. Mistake from Gentleman Sam. Just watching the back markers get across it. They're well strung out in this early stage. Worth presenting in mid-division. Jumping up quite nicely from Anaconda's command, Diabolo, and then the stripes towards the outside of Saynothingtonoone. The back marker of the main body of the field, and then at the back of the field there's a trio detached. They're headed by Shaka the King and the white sleeves and Kath, then the red and white jacket of Midnight Lil, and towards the rear of the field, and the overall back marker is You're My Getaway as they turn on in left-handed and now run towards their final 2.5 miles of the contest. Gentleman Sam on the inside, a red cap, and Miss Buttons towards the outside. Trap for Fools is next in the field, and these are then being followed through by Worth Presenting as they run between the two fences in the straight before heading to the winning line with 2 full circuits of the track left to cover. Gentleman Sam up along the inside of Miss Buttons, jumping up quite nicely. Trap for Fools, Diabolo. And then comes the stripes of Saynothingtonoone, Worth Presenting in the centre line as well. Anaconda's command in slightly worse than mid-division now with Shaka the King towards the inside one from last Midnight Lil. You're My Getaway is in overall back marker and has been the back marker since the start to Let Them Go. About a mile or so back. Looking further back in the field, Midnight Lil has unseated the rider. Midnight Lil, number 5 on your race card, is out of the contest. A horse galloping away, a rider slowly getting to his feet, James Turner, as the runners begin now to take a left-handed swing down the hill. They've descended from the home straight to the back straight, now heading towards their final 2 miles. Miss Buttons, Trap for Fools, Gentleman Sam is the leading brief, Worth Presenting with the check sleeves creeping a little bit closer. Gentleman Sam is just a little bit novicy over the first in the far side. And looking further back in the field, You're My Getaway has pulled up before going any further down the far side. Runners are at the second in the far side, Shaka the King slowly over 9th, quickly on towards the 10th, Miss Buttons from Trap for Fools. Gentleman Sam along the inside of Diabolo, who's creeping a little bit closer in the maroon jacket. Worth Presenting in 5th, and then Anaconda's command towards the inside. Saynothingtonoone and Shaka the King, the last of the ones that are still going as they head towards the final fence in the back straight on this occasion. And still Miss Buttons leads the way by a couple of lengths. Miss Buttons has jumped quite nicely to this point. Diabolo creeping ever closer, takes second around the outside of Trap for Fools. Trap for Fools is just beginning to nudge back along the inside to hold second on turning into the straight left-handed. Trap for Fools on the outside of Diabolo now. Worth Presenting, then Gentleman Sam, Saynothingtonoone, Shaka the King. At the back of the field, Anaconda's command. Running over the fence that will be taken as 2 out in a circuit's time. Trap for Fools is getting a little bit closer to Miss Scarlet, running towards the fence that will be taken as the last next time. Fence number 13 on this occasion. Miss Scarlet Whiteface up along the inside of Trap for Fools. Diabolo's jumping up nicely into 3rd. Gentleman Sam the inside, Saynothingtonoone out slightly wider on the course. On the near side, the checked sleeves of Worth Presenting still bang there and very much in contention. A couple of lengths to Shaka the King, and Anaconda's command has now been relegated to the overall back mark of the ditch for the final time at Askham, Bryan this afternoon. And they're all over it safely enough and now beginning to turn left-handed. Trap for Fools, race favourite, had a reminder administered by Tom Easterby on turning left-handed and running away from the landing side of the 14th. Good to see James Turner on his feet and walking back towards the winning line. So heading left-handed, they're off into the back straight with about 6 furlongs left to cover from this point, and still Miss Buttons leads the way from Trap for Fools, who's back over alongside in second. Worth Presenting creeps closer in the checked sleeves. Diabolo, Shackler King is next. They're up and over the first in the far side, fence 15. They're trapping on towards the 16th, and it's now Trap for Fools and Tommy seeking his second winner of the day, and Career up along the outside. They're all getting across the 16th, jumping well on towards the 17th. Trap for Fools moving on by a half length now from Miss Buttons. Diabolo still waiting in the wings, travelling nicely. Worth Presenting, and then Saynothingtonoone D Peters, the King, clambered across at the fourth from home and has now been relegated to a 5 or 6 length back marker of the main body of the field as they begin to get across the third last, and it's Trap for Fools and young Tom Easterby leading the way narrowly, but Diabolo is moving up well up along the outside for Joe Wright. They're turning left-handed, and it's got about 3 furlongs left to cover from this point in the maiden, and Diabolo, who's moved menacingly for the last half mile, moves on by about a length and a half. Worth Presenting, Trap for Fools under pressure now the inside, running on down to the second last. They've a quarter of a mile left to run in the maiden, and Diabolo was big and very bold at the second last, got away by 3 or 4 lengths. Now Trap for Fools is under maximum pressure towards the inside and struggling to get on terms with the leader, who is Diabolo, running on down to the final fence. Diabolo, maroon jacket near side, is in front from Trap for Fools. Diabolo again very assured over the last, got away by a couple of lengths from Trap for Fools. Saynothingtonoone D is third. They've got 50 yards left to go, and it's Diabolo in front, and Diabolo goes on to win. A very nice ride from Joe Wright. Diabolo wins, beats Trap for Fools. Saynothingtonoone D Peters, the King, Worth Presenting, and the last one in is Miss Buttons.